Many things have been written about marriage, but not all the things that they've written are important. Let's talk about why marriage is important. When farming started, marriage became important so that people could know who owned land when marriage was dissolved, so people had children. It became something that religious organizations and politicians took over. In 2100 BC was the first time that laws were written. Said that there was a lot of things for rules for marriage, from adultery to slavery. Many cultures have the ability for people to marry more than one person, but because something is permitted doesn't mean that it's always possible. The link between marriage and how much money people had also had something to do with it, and they had prostitutes, concubines, or wives. If you didn't have the money, then you could not do it. In other places, women could have more than one husband, like in the Himalayan mountains, where women could have married to all the brothers, where all the land was divided inside the same household. It also involves the kind of people that are involved. The names of them, marriages, are different. Same-sex marriages in history has also been happened. There's been things in Mesopotamia and in the Indian Native Americans that show that people of same-sex marriage have happened. In Rome, two emperors married both men, but in 342 AD it became illegal. But similar traditions continued on in Mesopotamia, and they called it brother making. And in 1061 in Spain, two men were married. Marriage also does not have to be amongst living people. It could be with what they call ghost marriages, where one person is dead and it continues the family lineage. And in the Sudan, they still continue that. Even with all of these differences, one thing in history, something that was kept in common was that it was too important for young love to be determined about marriage. So a ruler would make the choice about who can marry whom. The modern idea of marriage, about love and marriage and companionship, is relatively new. Industrialization and the growth of the middle class, more people became independent of their families and were able to support their own families. They became more enlightened and they became more focused on happiness and in pursuits and not about family. And this focus on individual happiness led to other transformations, like restrictions on divorce and people getting married at a later age. As we debate the definition of marriage in the modern world, it's good to remember that marriage has always been decided by the modern world, and the ideas of marriage will continue to change with the modern world.